The mountains had learned to scream. For weeks, the Carpathians echoed with it, iron striking iron, men crying out in pain, prayers shouted into smoke-choked air. Villages burned. Bells rang until their ropes snapped. Even after the armies moved on, the noise stayed behind, clinging to stone and memory. The Brotherhood of Still Waters walked those roads when the fighting ended. They were healers, not soldiers, not judges. They carried herbs, clean cloth, and water drawn from mountain springs. They treated wounds that bled and wounds that did not. What frightened them was not the injuries. It was the sound. Survivors screamed in their sleep. Mothers wept until their voices broke. Men flinched at every footstep. Pain echoed endlessly, fed by memory, amplified by noise. One healer wrote, "Suffering does not fade, it reverberates." They came to believe grief was not only memory, it was vibration trapped in the body. And if vibration sustained, pain, perhaps silence could end it. The lantern took months to construct. They shaped it like a traveler's storm lamp, familiar, unthreatening. Bronze etched with weather sigils and prayer geometry. Glass panes melted from cracked church windows and shattered bells. Objects once meant to carry sound, now reforged to contain it. At its center floated a pale crystal taken from a cave where wind never reached. A place so still the brothers said even thought felt quieter there. Unlit, the lantern did nothing. They did not know that, once lit, it would never stop. They chose a village that was already tearing itself apart. Survivors of a siege fought over food in the square. Shouting turned to blows. Someone set fire to a house simply to watch it burn. The Brotherhood placed the lantern at the center of the chaos. A healer struck the wick. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then sound bent. Voices stretched and warped as if pulled inward. Wind slowed. Fire stilled. Shouting collapsed into nothing. A pale blue flame bloomed inside the lantern. The louder the village had been, the brighter it burned. Within seconds, the square fell silent. Weapons dropped, fists unclenched. People sat where they stood, eyes open, breathing shallow but steady. The riot ended. The healers felt relief wash through them. It worked, but peace did not follow. The village remained quiet, but not restful. No one laughed, no one cried. Children stared without curiosity. The wounded did not groan. Dogs lay motionless, ears twitching at sounds that no longer existed. When spoken to, villagers obeyed calmly, then returned to stillness. One healer whispered, barely able to hear his own voice. "They are not calm. They are gone." That night, the lantern still burned. As the world grew quieter, the flame dimmed, shrinking to a single blue ember. But it did not go out. Fear crept in where sound could not. A young monk approached the lantern, unsettled by the emptiness inside his own mind. He could not hear his thoughts, could not feel time passing. He reached out and touched the glass. He fell instantly. No gasp, no cry, no pain. His heart had simply stopped. The healers pulled him back, desperate, working in silence. They pressed hands to his chest. Nothing. They understood then. The lantern did not silence pain. It silenced motion. Breath, thought, heartbeat. All were vibration. And the lantern consumed it. They tried to extinguish it. There was no oil to smother, no flame to blow out. Water froze against the glass. Cloth did nothing. The lantern burned on, fed by even the smallest sound. They carried it away from the village to a nearby monastery, hoping stone walls and quiet halls would starve it. It did not. In near-perfect silence, it burned as a single ember. Waiting. 2 days later, far from the mountains, something noticed. Deep within the archivist's central listening chamber, resonance glyphs shifted, not from noise but from its absence. A hollow appeared in the records, a place where sound should exist, and did not. A junior archivist froze, staring at the pattern. It matched something forbidden, something theoretical, a notation whispered only once in the archives. Quiet storm. By the time an archivist observer reached the monastery, the damage was already done. Monks sat frozen in prayer, eyes open, bodies warm, minds unreachable. At the altar, the lantern burned softly, frost on the glass, blue ember steady and patient. The observer could not hear his own breath. He did not stay long. That night, the archivists convened a triad. Containment protocols were prepared. Harmonic seals etched. One archivist wrote in the margins of the report, "If this flame ever hears the world scream again, it will burn bright enough to erase it." High in the mountains, the lantern listened. And for the first time in its existence, it had been heard.